Okay, so it's a Champions League final preview. It is a game between PSG and Arsenal. PSG, the best attacking team in the Champions League this season. Arsenal, the best defensive team in the Champions League this season. It appears PSG are confident. Some people might even say overconfident about beating
Yeah.
Arsenal. Arsenal are quietly and optimistic about their chances of winning the Champions League this season.
Yeah.
So we are here to look into it. Where do you think the game is going to be won and lost? How do you think are the chances of especially Arsenal? I think it is no secret that PSG are going to be the favorites in this game.
Yeah. I think that from a psychological point of view, Arsenal have the monkey off their back. Finally, they've won a trophy. So it means that going into the game, they know that they just have to go out and play. Just have to go out and play. I think more is on PSG to rather try and defend their title. I think that this would be, since the Champions League format changed, this will be the first time that another team other than Real Madrid try and win a Champions League back to back. It has never happened since the format changed. So I think more pressure, or let me say the favorite is definitely PSG going into the tie. But there are a few records that I think needs to be spoken about. Arsenal are looking to become the 25th different team to win the Champions League. They are the team that has played the most games in the Champions League without actually winning the competition. They've played 225 games and never won it. So they were looking to go one step further and win it. The last time they were in the final was 2006, where they lost to Barcelona. And so now they are back again in the Champions League final. In four of their previous European finals, they've lost every single one of them. So they really need to make sure that this time they get their hands on probably. I think they have an European trophy though in the 90s and 80s, but certainly for the last best part of 2 decades, this will be their first European um, title that they would want to win. This is a straight game between attack and defense. If you look at PSG, they are the team that has scored the most goals in the competition up until this point with 44 goals. The record for the most goals in the Champions League campaign is 45, so they are just one goal shy of breaking that record. Arsenal are also at the other end of that record, who have conceded just 6 goals and kept 9 clean sheets. The record for the most clean sheets in a single UCL campaign is 10. So they are also just one clean sheet away from breaking that tie. So either of these teams will definitely or might possibly break one of these records going into the final. So it means that PSG will definitely have majority of the possession. If you look at their attack with Kvaratskhelia, Doué, and certainly Usman Dembele, who has a bit of fitness issues. I read Luis Enrique talking about Osman Dembele's fitness issues, and he jokingly said, even if he has one leg, he would definitely start the final. That's how crucial he is. And I think he mostly talks about Osman Dembele in that manner because Osman Dembele is the one that really understands the system. He is an embodiment of the system that PSG plays with that fluidity and the movement of players from all angles. And Hakimi will also be vital. He also went out injured in the first leg of the semi-final against Bayern. And so I think he would also be definitely fit to play the final. It would mean that they have all their men and every possible key member of their squad available for the final. For Arsenal, Arsenal also had Ben White coming after Jurgen Timber getting injured. Jurgen Timber is also back fit, but I don't know if he starts the game ahead of Mosquera because Ben White is injured again. I think that is can possibly be a boost for Arsenal because if I look at the back end of losing the League Cup final against Manchester City, where Ben White came in, most of the games that Arsenal lost, most of their goals came through that right hand side. That was one of the major weaknesses of Arsenal. So if Jurgen Timber is supposed to come back and he's fit, I am a really big fan of Jurgen Timber myself. I think he's really solid defensively and going up against one of the best, definitely attacking players in the world right now, and Kvicha Kvaratskhelia, who would need to be on top of his game if he's supposed to start the game. You look at both teams, and Arsenal would need to take care of the ball. That would mean that the limited chances that they get, they will need to convert it. PSG will have majority of the ball. The one thing that will be key in this game is set pieces, not just for Arsenal. PSG is also very good at set pieces as well. If you look at the first leg against Bayern Munich, it was evident that set pieces are also vital for them. So in all aspects of play, PSG would look to have an advantage over there. For Arsenal, it would mean that I would probably want Jokeres to start the game. I liked how he played at the back end in the running, definitely, where again, especially again Atletico Madrid in the semi-final, the second leg, where he really ran the channels really well. And against Pacho and Marquinhos, they would need an outlet in Victor Jokeres who would spin the defenders and try and hit them on the break with spaces in behind. He thrives in those kind of
Yeah,
spaces.
before we come to the attacking options for Arsenal,
Yeah,
let's go back to the record you mentioned. So PSG need to score, I think, one more goal or 2 goals to break the record.
yeah,
2 goals.
yeah. 2 goals.
Arsenal need to avoid conceding a goal in order to
Yes.
break the record for the most clean sheets.
Yeah.
Which one is the most difficult to achieve between the two records? Do you think Arsenal can keep a clean sheet in the final?
I think Arsenal is the more difficult because keeping a clean sheet against PSG will be a massive, massive
It's almost
difficulty to
impossible.
achieve. Yeah, almost impossible because they do score in almost every single game that they play. For the other record scoring, they need just one goal to tie and another goal to break it. Of course, Arsenal is also very strong defensively, so that wouldn't also be an easy thing to do. But comparatively, I think Arsenal have a much tougher job on their hand if they are trying to get that record. And I also think that if they do get that record, they would win the Champions League. If they don't concede a goal, I think they are definitely good enough to sneak a goal at the other end and probably get a 1-0
That
score.
is That is exactly what I think as well. I agree completely with that. If Arsenal can keep a clean sheet, they've won it. But the issue is, how can you keep a how could you possibly keep a clean sheet
Keep a
against
clean
this
sheet.
Luis Enrique side? How?
Difficult.
I don't
I
know
have
how
another
how
record for
you
you.
you do that.
In the last 11 Champions League finals consecutively, first goal wins the tournament. You score the first goal, you win. Every
Mhm.
single time in the last 11 consecutive Champions League finals, first goal wins. So it will be interesting looking at the approach that both teams will go into the game. First 10 minutes, how we would see if both teams will
I
try and
think what
get the first
Luis
goal.
Enrique is going to do is that he's going first and foremost, he's going to prevent Arsenal from getting a corner kick. That would be the first thing. If they do get a corner kick, then I'm seeing videos of them training how to
Yeah,
defend the corner
I've
kicks
seen
as
it as
well.
well.
They want to be really able to defend the corners. But I
Yeah,
think the first thing is that they would prevent Arsenal from getting corner. I don't see Arsenal getting more than 3 corners in this game. It will be very difficult for them to get more than 3 corners. So what it means is that Arsenal would have to be super clinical with the corner kicks if they want to get anything out of this game, because they are not keeping a clean sheet. And if you are not keeping a clean sheet, then you need to score. Arsenal would need to score. And we talk a lot about Arsenal's defense being very good. Yes, their defense is very good, but not against these top sides in Europe. No way. Against the top sides in Europe. The top sides in Europe's these Louis Enrique and Bayern teams, they don't come at you and pin you back. They don't normally do that, especially PSG. They don't pin teams back a lot. What they do is that they pull you apart. They pull
yeah.
your defense, your center
That
back
is
and
what
your
is
right
called
back.
an artificial transition.
Yes.
It's just about movement of players off the ball. They
Movement.
cue you with
Yeah.
off the
So
ball movement.
they are going to move. They are going to make sure they pull you apart. Now, if they try to move your defenders out and they don't come, they will have space to receive the ball in 10. And you don't want these guys to receive the ball in 10. They don't make mistakes when they are facing you with the ball. They don't give 40 passes. They are
Yeah.
going to hurt you if they turn and face you. So whichever way you go, if you decide to sit in and wait for them, you are doomed.
So you
If you
think
decide to
Arsenal should
follow
go out
them,
and play?
I think the Arsenal should go out and play. They should. If they sit in, they have no chance. It is going to be like the City, the final they played against City in the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
They are going to be the PSG are going to find a way. Even the City team, this City team that is not as good were able to
Yeah.
find a way to break you down. So I think Arsenal's defense is good, but we sometimes overstate it a little bit. Against this PSG team, they would have to be very good on the attacking side as well. They need to also press and squeeze them because that is how Enzo Maresca beat them. Enzo Maresca didn't sit back. He was very aggressive, front-footed. So if you can do that and get it right, you can get a goal, and that can make life very difficult for them. So I don't know if you have anything else to say. Otherwise,
Yeah, I think that the last thing I wanted to add is about PSG's record against English opposition. And I think in nine meetings against English opposition, 9 games, they've won 7 of them and drawn just 2. Remember, last season they beat Liverpool on route to the final. They beat Aston Villa and they beat Arsenal in the semi-final. And it was only Chelsea who were able to come out on top in the Club World Cup final. But they came back again and beat them again this season in the knockout round. So they have a pretty good record against English opposition. And I think the experience in finals that these players have in their legs, and Arsenal's, they are on the beach right now. They really have to get mentally, they have to come back and realize that the job isn't done yet. And I think that you really raised a good point about them not trying to sit back. Because if you look at um, Inter Milan last year in the final, I think they went with a bit of a similar approach in trying
yeah,
to
yeah.
be a bit more pragmatic, and they
Mm,
they really dismantled them.
they got
They turned
walloped.
them apart.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm seeing it something similar in this game. To be honest, if I'm being, I hope I'm
Like a
wrong.
big scoreline.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I hope I'm wrong because I didn't really enjoy that final last season. It was too
One
one-sided.
side. Yeah.
I don't want this final to be one-sided as well. But I have a feeling that Arsenal might drink maybe 4 goals
Yeah.
in this game.
Okay. That's wow, wow. That would be wild. I'm not really seeing that. I'm seeing a close scoreline. I'll still probably say PSG are the favorites to win it, but I probably say maybe a 1-0 or 2-0. I think Arsenal will will definitely put up a fight.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, before we end this, going back to our prediction in the semi-final round, I
Yeah.
think I predicted um Atletico Madrid versus Bayern,
Yeah.
and then you also predicted Bayern versus, was it Arsenal? I think you said Bayern will qualify and Arsenal will qualify. I don't remember, but it looked like
Yeah, I
we
said
both didn't
Bayern.
get it right.
Yeah, we both didn't get it right.
Yeah, so this time I am going for PSG. You are also going for PSG. So we'll see, and we'll come back and
But
possibly
you are
do a
predicting a
review.
high score line. I'm predicting a
A
low
close
score
one.
line. We'll see how it
So
goes.
maybe a 2-0.
Yeah, 1-0 or 2-0.
Yeah, I think it will be more than a 2 goal margin. So let's see what happens.
Okay.
Anyway, thank you for watching the video, guys. We'll catch you later on. Subscribe if you are new here. Also like the video and let us know your thoughts down in the comments.